Christmas has begun for the Ramazan family in Adelaide. Mum Katie and her 2 young sons spreading some festive cheer. But this year will be different, with one notable absence. Dad Gershom is stuck in South Africa.
I'm sort of being realistic now that he's not going to be here. So I think we're just going to try and make it as special as possible for the kids.
Just a quick view of the outside. This is an area called Muldersdrift. It is in the cradle of humankind. Christmas is on the horizon, and I'm not sure if I will be able to see my family.
It's been about a year since Gershom's been able to hug his family. The businessman travels overseas for work and became stranded when the borders closed.
Hello, Daddy.
Important family milestones have come and gone without Dad, including birthdays and a recent big race.
William! Run, Will! Well done, Will.
William and Eli, Daddy is so proud of you guys. You guys got legs for days. You run with lightning speed. Daddy love you, and I miss you so much, boys. And Mummy.
You're getting bumped off flights, the prices were just outrageous, and also financially we didn't have that cash, available.
I couldn't wait to speak to you guys.
Along with the cancelled flights, Gershom's visa has expired. As a permanent resident, he needs it to get back into the country, but has waited for months to have it renewed.
Goodbye, Daddy.
Bye. Put Will into bed, and it was the first time he kind of just said, "Mum, is he really going to come?" And that just hit me that moment. It was like, oh, I think it's time to kind of tell him now that it's not going to happen. So, yeah, it's heartbreaking.
For tens of thousands of Australians this year, travelling the world has never been so difficult, and many families are in desperate need. For the first time, the new National Children's Commissioner has publicly expressed concern for the welfare of families stranded overseas.
These situations are just heartbreaking, of course. It's gone on for so long that there are many families I know, many parents as well as children who are suffering because of the international lockdowns.
730 understands that the Australian Human Rights Commission has received a number of complaints from families where children have been separated from parents because of the international travel restrictions.
Australia is a signatory to the convention, the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child, which really does put priority on keeping families together. The longer that this goes on, the more likely or more possible it is that there will be negative effects on children. So it would be my hope that these cases where a child is separated from a parent or parents, that these cases could be prioritised for relocation back to Australia.
A few months ago, the Prime Minister raised expectations that thousands of Australians would be home by now.
But I would hope that those who are looking to come home, that we'd be able to do that within months, and I would hope that we can get as many people home, and if not all of them, by Christmas.
While the government has expanded the number of quarantine beds and organised charter flights, it hasn't been enough. International arrivals are still restricted, now at 6,700 a week.
Well, I think there's a lot of people who would like to see more people coming into the country. The only way we're going to get significant increase in the caps is, firstly, if we can identify more beds that could be used and if we can resource those.
Amid mounting public pressure, the government announced in October that the Howard Springs quarantine facility near Darwin would accommodate 500 returning Australians. But a review of the quarantine system found Howard Springs could take up to 3,000.
It's difficult to scale really quickly, so I would be hoping that in time they might be able to deliver some more beds from Howard Springs. But so far, they've done a pretty good job.
Expanding the number of quarantine places generally has been fraught with difficulty, as we know from the early stages of the pandemic. One small mistake can cause an outbreak, massive political problems, and state governments on a hair trigger to close borders. And the last thing that any of those governments would want to do right before Christmas is to have another outbreak.
So this is where we've been for the past couple of weeks, and we'll be here for at least another 3 weeks.
It's been a stressful ordeal for the dual national Jakes family, who were stuck in London when 730 spoke to them last month. They were pinning their escape on a flight on the 1st of December. It was cancelled.
I was just sobbing, like bawling, because I just could not believe it. I was absolutely devastated because we were so sure that we had a really good chance of going on this flight.
Remarkably, they found another flight and were finally on their way.
Hey, we're here at Heathrow.
Got our boarding pass.
Show us the boarding passes, Daddy. Can't believe it. They're there.
We're on
Actually
our way.
in our hands.
Mum, Dad and 2 boys arrived safely in Melbourne this week for the 14 days of quarantine, just in time for Christmas.
Australia!
Someone's very excited to be here finally.
Me!
And look, we're still on the tarmac. Lovely big windows, which is fantastic. And then we've got this excellent room. Boys are settling in well. They've got their quarantine journals given to us by the hotels.
When we arrived and sort of unpacked, the first thing that Monty wanted to draw, he just drew a big picture of a prison.
Entirely unprompted. Oh, we haven't even thought about Christmas presents.
We're not there yet, no.
I mean, because we didn't know which country we were going to be in.
Okay, your turn, Eli.
In this pandemic, it seems everything comes down to luck. And back in Adelaide, Katie and her 2 sons remain in limbo, with no answer as to when or if Dad Gershom will come home.
It's long and it's hard, and I think it's just the not knowing that is definitely the hardest part.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 730's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.